If you're anything like me, it probably takes you weeks or even months to make a single song. I wanted to try to work more efficiently, so I challenged myself to make a song in less than a week. And this is how I made Rebuilding What Was Lost. In this video, I want to share with you what I learned in this process. So first, the overall process. At the very beginning, I wanted to outline the project to give myself a frame of work. I planned the project in reverse, so basically I decided what I needed to have done one day before release, then what needed to be done 2 days before release, etc. So it gave me a set of deadlines. I opened the DAW and the very first thing I did was actually write the melodies on the piano roll. Usually I start working with the guitars, but this time I wanted to try it differently. I wrote 4 melodies, I ended up only keeping 2 of them. I fleshed them out, then I added some strings, chords, and then the drums. It's only on the 3rd day that I added the guitars. I recorded them over the 3rd and 4th day, as well as the bass lines. On the 4th day, after I finished with the guitars, I moved on to the mix and the master. On the 5th day, I finalized the master and did the cover art, and that was basically the song done. So now that I've given you a general overview of how I worked, I want to dive into some more detail of how I managed to work more efficiently. One thing I did was have a well-organized template to begin with. I had 5 clean guitars, 5 distorted guitars, 2 basses, 1 clean, 1 distorted, the drums, and I think 5 strings, including cellos and violins. And the tracks were also grouped together so that I could apply effects to all of them together. One of the tropes of post-rock, the genre of this song, is to start quietly and then slowly add layers, so the song grows in intensity until you have that climactic moment, and after that it goes quiet and starts all over again. I tried to stick to that trope for this song because it made my work much easier. What I did, the trick was basically to record layer after layer, and so I looped the parts, added all the clean and distorted guitars, the violins, the drums, everything together, so I had that big climactic moment. After I had that, I duplicated those parts several times over, and going in reverse, I removed elements one by one so that it started with just the violins, and then the clean guitars, then the distorted guitars, to make that progression in intensity. Another thing that I did that saved some time was doing the mixing as I recorded. That's actually something I often do in my songs. I try to mix as soon as I add new instruments, do the high-pass filters, low-pass filters, stuff like that, some compression, some ducking as well sometimes. When the loudest parts of the song was recorded, I made a quick master, which allowed me to have an idea of what the final song was going to sound like, and I tweaked it as I continued to work. At this point, I added as much reverb as I could without muddying the mix, then fine-tuned the mix and added the automations. I like to keep the automations at the very end because I tend to move parts around while I work on the song, and it can mess up the automations, so it's best to do them at the very end for me. Once that was done, I tweaked the master. The objective was to try to get more loudness while keeping as much contrast as I could. And now I want to talk about what making this song taught me. Usually my songs take me a very long time to make because I start with the guitar riffs and I just play them over and over and over again, tweaking them, refining them, adding ideas, trying stuff. And it can take hours and hours, and sometimes I don't even make that much change considering the amount of time I spend on them. So for this song, the fact that I started with the piano roll allowed me to have the chord progression and melodies already in place before I even picked up the guitar. So once I actually started playing, the melodies came very naturally because there was already a well-established background on which to play. It was fairly easy and quick to come up with the melodies. They were very simple. I didn't want to make complicated riffs for this song because I knew I was working on a tight schedule. Using the piano roll also allowed me to get out of the 4/4 mindsets that I naturally have when I play the guitar. The last part of the song is actually a succession of 10/4 measure followed by 12/4 measure, repeated until the end of the song. I probably wouldn't have come up with riffs like this if I'd started working directly with the guitar. There's also another thing that I usually struggle with. I tend to loop very small segments of my songs and listen to them over and over and over again, trying to fix small details or change minor things, and I end up spending a lot of time for very little result. So for this song I kind of forced myself not to do this, to try to remain efficient. So I never looped the same part for more than a few minutes. If nothing came, then I figured it was good enough as is. So yeah, basically I had to rationalize a lot. I played the parts in the loop, picked up the guitar, played out some ideas. I quickly discarded what didn't work, tried a few things and kept the best ones. I didn't spend too long refining them. I was pretty happy with what came. It was simple ideas, but I thought they worked well with the song. If I hadn't had a deadline for this song, I probably would have spent a lot more time on it. I think I stopped at the point of diminishing returns where I would have spent a lot of effort to get only slightly better results. So not everything that I did for this song will be applicable to all my other songs, but there are some things that I will try to keep in mind. For example, I'll try to not spend too much time on one single part when I see that I'm not making significant progress on it. I think I'm going to use the piano roll much more often from now on. It allows me to get out of my usual patterns as well as compose faster with the guitar. I'm glad I made this video because it allowed me to sort my thoughts and reflect on what I've learned in the process of making the song. I hope it will also be useful to you in some way. When we have day jobs, we usually have very little time for music, so it's useful to work as efficiently as we can so that we don't waste that precious little time that we have to make progress on our songs. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the song, don't hesitate to ask in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.